Tonight on a CBS special.
It was not about money. If it were about money, then those little kids that are your fans, even now, Alvin, the ones that'll be your fans all their lives, even though they've known now what you've done, I mean, doesn't that kind of make you feel a guilt complex that you've ravaged their minds, you've stripped their innocence, because now they cannot look at this act and not think that you've done something bad that will affect them the rest of their lives. I mean, these kids are only like 2 and 3 and 4 years old, maybe 5, Alvin. I mean, you've got to have some feeling about that. At least I would think you should.
Listen, pal. This interview has gone as far as I plan to go with it. I'm going to say this only one more time. Dave was in charge of the entire band. I might have gotten all the publicity and the public recognition, but it was Dave who was getting all the money. It wasn't me. It wasn't Simon. It wasn't Theodore. It was nobody. It was him. He got all the money. All we got was just a little scrawny paycheck to buy nuts for our tree with, okay? We never had a chance to really do anything with the potential that we had for this record label. I mean, Bags, Dazar, and Peanuts, you know? I mean, I'm a chipmunk. I gotta figure out some way to live. I gotta have something to eat to put on my table. But these little kids, I mean, they're human, so they don't know what it's like to be a chipmunk. You don't know what it feels like to have to scavenge and claw your way through tree after tree and find acorns or something to eat. And Dave, all he cared about was those big Rolls Royces he was driving around in. Do you think he ever got us a car like that? Maybe a Mercedes or any of those real expensive Cadillacs you see on the highways? No! He never did any of that. We had nothing. Dave took all of it. We got nothing, pennies to live on. I can only say this to those little kids out there who now their minds have been squashed by the reality of what's happening. This world will not get better, kids. It's going to get worse. It's not going to get better. It's better to face the reality now. Does anybody remember 2 years ago when our great President John F. Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, Texas? Oh, yeah. That was a reality check, too. And all those little kids, I remember them outside the hospital crying. Yeah, you got to remember those things. You can't just kind of pretend that it didn't happen and go on with your life and think, oh, that was just a TV show. It wasn't real. Well, what I did to Dave, I did to prove to the world that EMI, Bags Dazarin, Dave Seville, they're money makers. They don't care about you. They don't care about you buying those records. They want the money. That's all they want, the money they're making. So you need to remember that. Always remember that. Everything for children is about money. And that's all it's ever going to be, kids. I'm sorry, but that's reality. And I ain't saying nothing else. Warden, get me out of here. Take me back to my cell. I ain't talking no more. Look who's in the studios. It's Simon and Theodore. Come over and sit down, guys. I want to ask you all a couple of questions, if you don't mind. It's good to see you, Simon. Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here. Theodore, it's been a long time. Yes, it has. keep you guys. I know y'all have recording to do at the studio, so let me just ask you real quick. What happened? Why didn't Alvin get crazy? Why did he do this insane thing? I mean, we get along with humans so well. Why would he turn on Dave Seville like that? Who knows, Herman? I mean, Alvin has always been the voice piece for us. I mean, he was so great at projecting that energy and that friendly attitude to the kids. And he snapped. That's what we've told CBS and all the other networks, that Alvin just couldn't handle it anymore. He got... It all went to his head. It really did. We kept it in perspective because we knew we were trying to do something good, make people laugh, make the kids happy, make it fun for them and for everybody. And then for Alvin, he never got enough. He was never satisfied with what Dave gave him. Theo, what is your feelings about what happened? It's the same thing. I mean, we tried to keep everything going. We kept trying to tell Alvin, take a tranquilizer, take something to control your feelings about all this. And he just wouldn't listen. And then he went berserk. I don't even know where the gun came from, man. I mean, here we are, 1 second having a great time in the studio, and then before you know it, there's this gun, and it just blew our minds. We didn't know what he was doing. I've understood, late report is, Dave Seville is going to make a recovery, is what they've told me. That's great. We've been interviewing them, asking them questions, trying to figure out maybe how they're feeling. I mean, it's dramatic for every kid out there. I know y'all listening today on the station. You always want to know what's going on with the recordings and with Alvin. This is the saddest day, I'd say, for us here at KCHP, because Alvin has destroyed that sense of security that children have had. How are we going to ever explain that, Simon, to the kids now? Well, you keep forgetting, Herman, that only 2 years ago we had President Kennedy assassinated, you know? And I know Alvin said that to the reporter for CBS News. You know, we do the best we can when we're recording these records for the kids to be happy and you know, I mean, it's about money, but I still don't see why would Alvin turn like that on somebody like Dave. Dave didn't do nothing. Theodore, do you have plans now? Are you going to go on your own, or are you going to stay with Simon? Or what is your plans now that Alvin has done this horrible thing? Herman, right now, I'm going to stay with Simon. They say Dave plans to come back and continue recording, and that they are supposedly going to find somebody else to take Alvin's place. But the kids probably won't even know. After a couple of years, they'll probably figure, oh, it's Alvin, you know, and they'll probably just accept it. They won't even ask questions anymore. They'll just be happy to get the next record in the collection, and hopefully we can keep them happy, and, you know, it's a fantasy world, you know. It's like make-believe. It's what kids need to keep their minds active. And that's the best thing to do, is get them on something else. You know, let Alvin deal with it. Let society deal with what Alvin did, and let's try to keep the kids focused on something else that's going to help them, and not dwell on something that makes them feel sad, you know. But I'd say right now we should think about Dave, because Dave's still in the hospital, you know. He's got a long road to recovery, you know.
Make your home as pretty as a picture and get this Kodak Pleaser camera free when you buy 10 gallons of Dutch Boy paint. Or for just $9.98 with a qualifying Dutch Boy purchase. Send us a photo of what you painted and you can win an African photo safari. Or one of 500 deluxe photo albums. A free Kodak camera and a Dutch Boy paint job as pretty as a picture. Ask your participating Dutch Boy retailer for details. Demand Dutch Boy. He works hard for your money.
Pressure, anxiety, stress.
I had to reach out for help.
Prolonged stress can lead to health problems.
The most significant relationship so far seems to be cardiovascular.
Stress affects us all, the young, the elderly, at work, at home. TV5's Jim Axel looks at stress and many ways you can deal with it. Stress, an Eyewitness News special report tonight at 11 on TV5.
The physical problems of stress at 11.
Dennis Weaver.
To learn more about the history of television, the Library of Congress suggests these books. Television by Michael Winship, Tube of Plenty, The Evolution of American Television by Eric Barno.
Or The Tragedy of That Christmas Morning in 1965 by David Carter Jr.
And An Album of Television by Carol A. Emmons. These and many other interesting books are available at your local library and bookstore. Visit them. They'll be happy to help you read more about them.